Good morning. It's about 5:30 in the morning, Sunday. I don't know what date that is, 7th, 8th May, something like that. And I'm just getting ready to cross the lake. It has been a bit windier than what I hoped. It's a westerly, so I'm going to be going into it slightly. It's supposed to only be about 10 to 12 kilometres an hour right up until 11 o'clock this morning, and I hopefully will be there by then. Yeah, it's a little bit rougher than I thought it would be, because with the westerly it's a bit open, so it brings in the wave. If this 10 kilometres an hour was coming from the south, she'd be like glass out there. But yeah, it's a funny wind. But what I'm hoping is, as I get across the lake and closer to the Narrows, the wind will be cut out a bit because of the hills and that around the Narrows. So that's the plan anyway. I'm just sitting back here waiting so I can see a little bit of light. I don't want to go pitch dark as it is at the moment. We'll give it an hour out there, see what it's like. If it's no good, I will turn back and come back with the wind and probably park at the main jetty down by the yacht club. But this is my best chance to go. Tomorrow's going to be rainy and windy, and I'm a little bit in the open here, so it'll be a bit rocky, but it'll be okay. But if I get to the Narrows, we're going to be tucked away with the southerly coming through, and being at that jetty, you're going to be blocked out from the wind a fair bit. So that's the plan. I'm just sitting back waiting now. I'm going to start the motor up in a minute and make sure it's all going, give it a good warm up, and I'm hoping in about 15 minutes I'm going to be able to just see a little bit more, and then we head off and see how we go. Well, we're off, and there is actually a little light on the hill. I think it's a light or a star that's pretty much in the direction I've got to go. The sun should be up in, or not, probably sun up in about 3/4 an hour, but it's starting to get a bit lighter now, so I can see what's happening, and it's not too bad out here. A few little waves, but it's handling it pretty well. And there's plenty of lights back on the jetties back here if something goes wrong and I've got to turn around, and if something does go wrong I can always tow her back, or the wind is taking me straight back into Meningie. So let's go for it. So we're all going good so far. We're sort of going into a northwesterly, and this camera shows it a bit lighter than it really is, but we'll go out to the right and see it's starting to get a little bit lighter out there. We're probably only about 1 kilometre out, 2 k's out, and to the Narrows I think it's about 17 k's and 24 to Narrung, but all going pretty good at the moment. I'm heading, in the book it says 338 degrees, I think they call it true, and just so happens where that is, there's a house light there, so I'm sort of just following straight towards the house light, and I know I'm going in the right direction because you can just maybe see those hills to the right a bit, and as they dip down, that's about where the Narrows is. So yeah, we'll just keep on going. Besides this weird wind, I think it's going to be a nice day, so we'll just keep going, and I'm hoping once we get up closer to the land in a couple hours time, that's probably going to cut a little bit of the wind out, and it should calm right down by the time I get to the Narrows. But we'll see how we go. So we are about an hour into the journey, probably about 1/3 of the way across the lake, and as I said before, she's a little bit rougher than I wanted it to be. I planned on going across on glass, but this is the best the weather was going to be for a few days, and it's only 11-12 kilometre an hour winds at the moment, and it's supposed to stay like this right up until midday, and then only getting up to about 19-20 kilometre an hour winds. But yeah, the sun's just starting to break through over here, and Gilligan's getting through these pretty good. So every now and again I get a bit of a splash up the front here, but pretty happy. It shouldn't get any rougher than this. I've got a few emergency plans if something goes wrong, and the dinghy and the kayak are still behind. and if worse got the worse, I'd just turn around and go back with the wind. But we're going to keep going because it's not too bad. Not quite halfway across at the moment, but got a few pelicans here thinking I'm a fishing boat, I think. Weather stayed about the same, so I hadn't got any rougher, and I'm hoping within about an hour it should start calming off as we get up towards those hills and towards land, which should protect us a little bit. And then we've got the sun coming out over here. Not quite as rough as it was before. We're getting a little bit of protection. Still not smooth by any means, but we're just heading to the Narrows. I'm trying to find the channel marker. I think I might be able to see it in the distance. For those not too sure what the Narrows is, it's the little bit of a channel that splits Lake Albert and Lake Alexandrina, and obviously it's pretty narrow and a little bit shallow, but there are channel markers all the way through it. Yeah, not too sure. I think I've got the channel marker, but I'm not too sure. But within a 15-20 minutes I should be able to have more idea of where I'm actually going. But yeah, pretty happy so far. I think we're going to make it. Touch wood. So it's been pretty shallow in Lake Albert. I don't know whether you can see that up there or not. I've got the sun glaring in my eyes, so I don't know if you saw that or not, but 6 to 7 feet most of the way through the lake. So yeah, not very deep at all. So I was thinking even if I sank I could even just sit on the roof and I'd be okay. But we're getting close now. Still can't quite see the channel marker. I might be able to see it. It's either a windmill or it's a channel marker, but we should be able to see it pretty soon. 3 hours into the trip now, and I think that was a windmill I was looking at. Can't see a channel marker yet, but the windmill's sort of the right direction. You can sort of see the Narrows there, but there should be a channel marker coming up soon. Maybe it's just my old eyes, but definitely calmed down a bit now. Still a little bit rough, but a lot better than it was. Sun's out, so not too bad a day. We've made it to the Narrows. There's the navigation marker, and back to the right is what I thought was the windmill. It might even be an old windmill. So the navigation marker was pretty much straight in front of the windmill. We've got a triangle, so on the way heading back towards the sea, the triangle ones go on your left and the square ones go on your right. And I remember that because I'm colourblind, so I don't know what colours they are, so I go by the shapes. So maybe another hour and a half to Narrung. We're heading into the wind all the time, so it's probably slowing us down a bit. But we've made it to the Narrows. We're pretty happy. It's about 4.5 feet deep here, so it's got a little bit shallower. And I can see the other navigation marker up ahead, so we'll keep plodding along. So well into the Narrows now, probably about 1 hour from Narrung. We have a ferry in the distance, getting close. How you going, guys?
Good. Hello.
Hello. So just to let you know, it's not all bloody beer and Skittles. It's been blowing a bit of a storm up most of the night. It's about 5:30 in the morning. I've just come and checked my ropes. I had one tied to the top bar there, which is a bit stupid, but I've got an extra one down to the main stay there on the boat, and I've got about 3 or 4 along the side of the boat, so I knew it was going to be pretty rough tonight. But yeah, it's been a tough night, and we've got the ferry over there still going. It's supposed to be blowing through in the morning from what I heard on the news, but I'm not getting internet connection here, so I can't really check the weather. So hopefully by about 7 or 8 o'clock she's going to slow down a bit. But so far so good, but haven't had much sleep. And I think there's the, I'll check out the back, but I think the yacht that was tied up behind me's got off, and I reckon that might have moved into the not the willows, into the reeds a bit. But yeah, pretty tough night, but if we can get through this, we'll get through anything. So just check out the back here. Little magnet lights come off. I'll chuck that down there. But yeah, she's raining a bit now. But get back inside now. Oh, lock ourselves in for a while. But she's still floating. I'm a bit wet now, so dry myself out and have a lay down, and hopefully in a couple of hours time she calms down a bit, and then it's supposed to be okay, I think, for the rest of the week. Been a bit of a stormy night. It's about 7 in the morning. I've been up a bit during the night tying up extra ropes. The wind is just starting to change around now, so we've got a little bit of protection. It has been coming in from that direction, which is like a northwest from Adelaide, and blowing straight into us, but it looks like it's turned around a bit now, so it's calmed down, and it's supposed to be clearing out this morning sometime, so hopefully that wind stays a southerly and we get a bit of protection. But yeah, a bit of hard work going out here with all the pelican shit on the jetty. Got a little mate sitting there in the corner. That's probably going to be the end of this video, guys. By the time I edit it and stuff, I'm thinking it's going to be up around the 15 minutes, so I'm trying to keep my videos sort of between 13-18 minutes. I don't want them dragging on too long and bore people, so we'll make that end of this trip, and the next video will be a bit of a tour of Point Malcolm Lighthouse, go across the ferry, have a bit of a look around Narrung, and I did a video previously of Rauken, so we'll do that in the next video. But about the trip, well, we got across okay. I was pretty happy with it, no real problems. A bit windier than what I wanted. I probably would have preferred it to be glass, but I've said that previously in this video. I know there's a lot of people saying I'm a bit crazy doing it, and I've had that for probably the last couple of years since I've been planning it, but I did look into everything I could about safety. I tested this boat many a time up and down the river to make sure everything was going okay. I'd talked to professional fishermen. I'd made sure I had my dinghy. I had a canoe or a kayak with me. I had it planned pretty well. I even had a knife in my pocket and one in the dinghy, just in case I had to jump in the dinghy, and so I could cut the rope before it took the dinghy down with it. But as it was only 7 feet deep anyway. But I think I looked into it a fair bit for the safety aspects. I'm not recommending anyone else to do it. I've got to admit, it was pretty good going across there, but you've always got in the back of your mind what happens if the motor breaks down, what happens if you hit something and it sinks, or there's something wrong with the boat you don't know and it does sink, and the weather's pretty cold. You don't want to be stuck in the water for too long. So I did look into it a fair bit, but definitely not going to recommend it for anyone else to do. Maybe if you've got a really good boat and that, it's no problem. I can't see any problem with it. but look into it a bit if you're going to do it. And obviously I had the flares and all that sort of stuff. So thanks for watching this one, our first lake crossing. We're going to do a bit of a tour in the next one of Narrung, Rauken and Port Malcolm Lighthouse, and then we've got a couple of other videos in between before I do the crossing back to Wellington. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe. Any questions, comments, put them down. I'll answer them all. If you want to know something about the trip or the boat or anything about me, just put in the comments and I will get back to you. So thanks for watching.